sometimes they become rote memory. They can become things that you're supposed to do when you're praying the same things over and over to God. And so what I want to pray, I'm going to pray before we start here in a minute, and I want us to pray that we would be a people who are desperate for God. We hear the word desperate everywhere. I'm depressed, or I'm depressed. Yeah, we can be depressed for God's glory if you want to be. But we hear those things, desperation, and so many applied to so many things. But are we desperate for a move of God? And someone said once, if God isn't in it, we don't want it. And I say this often, I am so weary and tired of a false and phony move of God, I will not settle for anything else unless it is real. I just don't want to settle anymore. And so that's what I want to be able to say to us this morning, is we're going to get together in a minute and we're going to pray together as a church. But I pray that we're praying desperate prayers. So if people are following online, so what we're going to do is I'm going to give the prompts for them, because we're going to fade out, because there's going to be a lot of dead silence for them online. It won't make much sense. But I want, if they're watching online, to be able to join with us in prayer. Today is very simple. There's nothing major about these things, but there are 4 prompts. There might be a 5th one depending on time. But this morning, I just want to pray for our people. Just pray for us as a congregation. In the presence of God and His glory. So it's a very general, it can be any direction we want to take that in prayer, but to pray for our people here at Raleigh Road. Number 2, we want to be praying for our leadership. We want to be praying for our elders. Number 3, we want to pray for our community. I was driving around yesterday and saw a lot of lostness. I don't know about you guys. If you guys go out your house, you maybe see it. I go outside my front door and I see it in my neighborhood. And so we want to be praying for our community. Number 4 is I want to pray for today's service, today's sermon. I'm not a very topical preacher. I don't do that very often. There's reasons for it, and I'll explain that even maybe in my sermon this morning. But my sermon this morning is very purposeful. It's very purposeful, and I need prayer for that text, that sermon, and tonight's meeting as well. We have a family life meeting. We want to pray for those two items today. And so I'm going to give us prompts to do that here in a minute, and then what we'll do is, you ready for something that some people love and some people hate? You ready for it? If you're the type of people who don't like being around people, you can just sit still, and you can still pray. But what I'm going to ask is, I got about 4. I'm looking at the 8. What I would like to see happen is if we can maybe break off into like 5 or 6 different groupings of people. So here's a corner, there's a corner, there's a corner, there's a corner, and then you can be right there in the middle, and the people who don't like people, you find some other place somewhere, right? So if we can we get together in those groupings of people? So about 5 or 6, and those of you who are less shy, y'all make it happen, because some people are going to wait and see what happens. So let's go ahead and break up into those 5 or 6 groups if we can, and I'll see what happens real quick, and then I'll tell us what to do next. Four corners in the middle. And by the way, y'all can move the chairs any way you want. You don't have to be facing this way. If you don't be facing each other, get in circles, you can mess it all up. It's good.
No. I don't think so.